This is the Pittsburgh Bay Point BART station, located northeast of San Francisco and Oakland towards the end of BART's Yellow Line, right in the middle of the peaceful serenity of California's State Highway 4. But this is not our destination. No, about 1 mile further down the track is another station, a peculiar one with no entrances and no exits. If we look at the official BART map, to get to the last 2 stations on the Yellow Line, there is a note to change trains at transfer platform. It is the next stop right after Pittsburgh Bay Point. And this is it, a station that exists just to get off one train and onto a smaller one. So, why did this happen? Back in 2009, California allocated funding to widen Highway 4. To not feel like complete climate arsonists, some of those funds were also used to extend the BART Yellow Line. At first, BART wanted to use a right-of-way slightly to the north owned by Union Pacific. BART wanted to purchase full control of the right-of-way so frequency wouldn't be limited by the freight trains. But Union Pacific didn't want to relinquish control of the entire track, so after several failed attempts at negotiation, the deal died out. And so, BART chose to run the extension down the middle of the highway instead, giving riders that lovely background noise. At this point, like all American transit projects, the cost was going far beyond what was expected. To cut down in cost, BART decided to run different diesel-powered trains on the extension. This saved time and money from having to install the electric third rail, and also let BART use standard gauge tracks instead of the non-standard wider gauge used by the current rolling stock. These new trains were diesel multiple units that BART called eBART, short for Extension BART. So to be clear, BART is the electric train and eBART is the non-electric train. And that's where this transfer station comes in. When the extension finished in 2018, to get from Pittsburgh Bay Point to Pittsburgh Center, one needed to get off the normal BART train and onto the extension diesel train. The station offers 2-minute time transfers for everyone to get across the platform in either direction before both trains go back in the directions from which they came. And because this station exists only for people moving from one train to another, the station was designed with no proper connections to the street, no escalators going down, and no fare gates. Now, BART is not the only system to have this kind of isolated station. The Nishikigawa Seiryu line in Japan connects the coast of Iwakuni to the inland mountains. In the middle of the line, you'll find Seiryu Miharashi Station, which is nothing more than an observation platform for sightseers to get a beautiful view of the Nishiki River, and you can find a few other similar sightseeing stations around the world. In East Switzerland, there's Sagliong Station, a transfer station very similar to the one on BART. I haven't found much information on this one, but it does look like there is an exit and road leading out, but used only for loading cars or luggage. Still, it could count as a way out. Back to BART though. On either end of the platform you will notice emergency exit ramps, so clearly there is also a way out, but if you head out to the street you'll find the exit is pretty heavily gated and fenced off. So if you were to intentionally miss the last train, and somehow avoid any possible security that could show up, you would end up stuck on this platform in the middle of a deafening highway with no way out until the train started up again in the morning. Now I did wonder, why an entire transfer station at all? Why not just have the transfer happen at Pittsburgh Bay Point? Perhaps it was better to separate the foot traffic changing the trains from those entering and leaving the station? I emailed BART asking about it, and they responded, "We did not see an answer to why a transfer platform exists." So for now, this lonely platform's existence will remain without clear reason. But it will continue to serve suburban riders transferring between the 2 trains that construct a single BART line. And for me, I will be heading somewhere quieter.